Hello everybody, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to do another altered paintbrush, but I'm going to do this paintbrush on a MDF laser cut tag. I've got the paintbrush from Poundland. Here's an image of how they are sold. This is the smaller one, and this is 1¼ inches. I'm going to stencil the background of this tag, and I'm going to use this 6x6 stencil from the craftersworkshop.com, designs by Jamie. Mini artists, I think is what it says on the label there. I've had this for a long time, so I don't know if it's still sold or even if it's, if it's no longer available. So I'm going to use my modeling paste, and this is the Studio Acrylics from Paintbrush. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, so if you know how it's correctly pronounced, let me know in the comments below. I'm just going to go around the outside with the paste, and I'm just going to dab it just to give this texture. This is going to take a little while to dry, so I'm going to let that dry and then we'll move on. Okay, it's mostly dry, not 100%, but mostly. So I'm going to cover this in black gesso. And this is the Paintbrush brand as well, Studio Acrylic, and it's my favourite black gesso. I absolutely love this gesso. So as this isn't 100% dry, I'm bound to get a mixing of the gel medium and the black, but I'm not bothered. Okay, so that's mostly dry, and as you can see there's some nice texture on the background. So if you want to let yours dry naturally, then please do, but for video purposes it means sometimes if I wait for things to dry it can take hours, and I've got things I need to get done today. So first thing I'm going to do now is start attaching some embellishments. Now I'm just using things from my stash. Obviously I've been crafting for so long now, I've got lots of things in my stash, but I did make these leaf with some air dry clay and a stencil that I got from Amazon. I will link the stencil if it's available below. Okay, and I know a lot of people who do mixed media tends to use gel mediums to glue things down. But again, that takes a long time to dry, and I prefer instant adhesion, so I tend to use hot glue. If you want to use the gel mediums, then please feel free to do so. That's just my personal preference. Large metal rings, and I'm going to glue those on. And I'm going to paint all this with the black gesso. Now what I should have done, actually I should have painted it as I was adding them, so painted the first item, then painted the heart, but sometimes I forget. So if you're going to do some mixed media projects, I suggest you either paint it all a bit to start off with before you even start gluing things down, or paint them before you glue them down. Okay, time to add some metal cogs. Now these are ones that I have in my stash from when I had my store way back when. But you can get MDF cogs, you can get cog dies that you can cut yourself. You can get metal cogs from lots of different brands. Just do what you can afford. If you can't afford to get the metal cogs, then you can get a die and you can create them yourself using thick cardstock. People think a lot of people think mixed media is expensive. It can be, because there's a lot out there that people assume you need to use. But do what you can within your budget. If you know, I'm very much a crafter that crafts within my budget. If I can't afford something, I'll either save up for it, or I'll try and find a cheaper alternative. Like I say, I tend to use hot glue rather than forking out for the mediums, the mediums that are used to adhere things, and that's my preference. And if I find it at a decent price, I will buy some. To glue that there, but before I do that, I'm going to paint the cogs. So I'm going to paint this first, I think. Some hot glue down here. And stick our paintbrush down. Now down the centre there where the glue is seeping through, I'm going to get hold of some little beads. And I've got these tiny little beads, and I don't care what colour they are because I'm going to be painting them. Yep, you guessed it, black. So as you can see, I'm just tilting it, and in fact anywhere that is wet they will grab onto. In fact I might put some here, there and everywhere just to give it some texture. Dry for a while because I want those to adhere properly, and I'll be back. Okay crafters, so I have some blue and I have some green acrylic paint from Poundland from the works, and I'm going to spray water in it, and I'm going to grab myself a paintbrush and I'm going to paint and splodge wherever I want it to be. And I am going to spray the actual blue on here to water it down. Because not everybody has the sprays, and I wanted to show that there are other ways to create mixed media. So I'm going to spray that with my heat tool, or should I say heat that with my heat tool. I'm going to go back in with it where it's less water, to give it a bit more oomph, to make it darker and lighter in places. Just to warn you crafters, the one downside to using hot glue is obviously if you're heat setting things, it does remelt the glue, so that's just something to be wary of. I'm going to use my Lindy stamp gun, and this is the Tibetan Poppy. It's like a tealy colour, and I love it. So that will hopefully blend the blue and the green together, and I'm going to spray it with water as well. And I'm just going to move it around. using some Nouveau embossing mousse. This one is cornflower blue, I believe. Yep, this is cornflower blue. I'm going to go over some of the areas and highlight some of the embellishments and things with this lighter blue. I'm going to do the same with my gold brown, I think it's called. Is this gold brown? Cosmic brown. And I'm going to use that on this, my last MDF embellishment, and this is a pair of ornate scissors. And I wanted these to be gold, and I'm going to stick them just on there, and this will be just gold. I won't be putting any other colour on it, so they really stick out. I wish Phony Designs was still open. Their prices were amazing. Okay, so that's that done. We're going to add some of the gold in places as well. Okay, let's add those scissors, and then I think I'm going to call this Altered Paintbrush done. There we go. And that, crafters, I am calling done, and I'm really happy with the way that turned out. So thank you very much for joining me. I'll have a link below with all the mixed media craft below, and I will see you again very soon with another craft. Take care now. Bye bye.